Hello everyone, I'm Nishan and welcome to my YouTube channel Save More Money, where I simplify personal finance and help you all become financially independent. So friends, today's topic is a very important topic for every one of us, where I'll explain you how you can file your capital gains in income tax returns on the mutual funds which you have purchased using the SIP mode, the systematic investment plan mode. So please watch the video fully and do remember to like, subscribe and share the channel if you enjoyed today's video. So in my previous video, I had explained you how capital gains can be submitted on income tax new portal while filing the ITR returns. If you missed watching that particular video, please click on the I button at the top of the screen or in the details section and watch the video. So basis that particular video, I got feedback and queries from many of my viewers who asked that how should we file the income tax returns on capital gains which are received from the SIP mode of mutual fund purchase. So guys, before going ahead, let me first explain you how mutual funds are taxed. The tax rules are different for both equity-based mutual funds and the debt-based mutual funds. Equity-based mutual funds are taxed as per the capital gains which are received by selling the mutual funds in less than 1 year or more than 1 year. If you sell the mutual fund before 1 year of holding period, then whatever profit you make out of selling that particular mutual fund, you will be taxed at the rate of 15% plus surcharge plus cess on that particular capital gain. And if you hold for more than 1 year and then sell your equity based mutual fund, then the capital gains up to 1 lakh rupees are exempted, and beyond 1 lakh rupees you will be taxed at 10% plus surcharge plus cess. Remember that this 1 lakh limit of tax exemption is applicable for all the capital gains received from equity portfolio, no matter whether it's mutual funds or stocks or anything else. That's the equity part taxation. Now coming to the debt part taxation, if you sell a debt based mutual fund before 3 years of holding period, then the gains which are received will be added to your income and you will be liable to pay the taxes as per your tax slab. However, if you sell the debt-based mutual funds after 3 years, then whatever gains you make, that will be taxed after indexation at a flat rate of 20%. There is no capital gain exemption of 1 lakh in the case of debt-based long-term mutual funds. That's the taxation part. Now let's understand how SIPs are taxed. For you to understand this thing, you have to remember one very important point, that in SIP, every SIP is considered as a fresh investment. I repeat, every purchase you make on the mutual fund via SIP mode is considered as a new investment. So let's take an example. You buy a mutual fund via SIP mode, you invest in it via SIP for 1 year, and after 1 year of holding period, you sell all the units, thinking that you have already covered the long term and you will be liable only as per the long term gains taxation. So if you are thinking that all the SIPs are long term basis, then you are wrong. So what will happen is the first SIP which you had initiated, that you have held for 12 months. So that is applicable under the long term taxation. However, the second SIP which you initiated after 1 month, you have held that only for 11 months period, that is not held for 12 months. So that is not applicable for long term if it is an equity based mutual fund. That will be applicable only for a short term capital gains, and so on and so forth. And the last mutual fund SIP which you had invested, you have held it only for 1 month. In effect, what happens is out of 12 SIPs, only one SIP is considered as long term and taxed accordingly, and all the remaining 11 SIPs are considered as short term. Now you will have to accordingly calculate how much is your long term tax and how much is your short term tax, and you have to pay your taxes. The third and last important point which you have to remember is how do you do the taxation. Let's take the example of mutual funds which have been purchased before 31st January 2018. So all those mutual funds, if you have purchased via SIP mode, no matter whether it's an equity based mutual fund or a debt based mutual fund, the cost of purchase will be as per the NAV date on 31st January 2018. One easy way to find out the NAV for 31st January 2018 for any mutual fund is to log into this particular website www.amfindia.com, and from there go to NAV history and then search for a particular date. So select on all NAVs for a date, give the date as 31st January 2018 and click on the go button. So once you do this, you will have the NAVs of 31st January for all the mutual funds. So for example, I had purchased Canara Robeco Emerging Equity Fund. So let me just search for that. So Canara Robeco Emerging Equities Direct Plan Growth Option. So my NAV on 31st January is 101.14. So any SIP which I had done before 31st January, all those values will be grandfathered to NAV of 101.14 for my capital gain calculations. So this is one very easy way. I'll share the link of the website on the description. So no matter whether you had started the SIP in 2012, 2017, 2018, does not matter. If it was purchased before 31st January 2018, the cost of purchase you have to take as the NAV value on 31st January 2018. Now you will be having the SIP units which you have purchased and the NAV. If you do not have that, go to Karvy website or go to your AMC website and download the statement from there. You will get your units purchased, the NAV for each and every SIP, and from that you will be able to calculate your cost of purchase. Similarly, when you are selling it, you will also have the date of sell, units which have been redeemed, and the NAV, from which you can find out the selling price. So guys, this is the Excel which I have created, wherein I have noted down the SIP dates which were done for Canara Robeco from 25th October 2017 till 27th May 2019, and then on 1st March 2020 I redeemed everything. 6,000 was the SIP amount. Every SIP, this is the NAV, the price at which it was purchased, and since 6,000 was invested at 94.5, we got 63.492 as the units. Now let's try to find out how you can calculate the capital gains. First of all, since few of the SIPs were before 31st March 2018, we'll have to consider the grandfathered cost for them. So all these 4 SIPs, we found out that the grandfathered NAV was 101.14 for Canara Robeco Emerging Equities Growth Direct Plan. So we have mentioned that here, and basis the NAV and the number of units, this is our effective amount, effective cost price which we have paid to purchase these units. Apart from that, now we have sold the units on 1st March 2020. So for capital gains, if we have to see the long term, we'll have to see anything which was purchased before 1st March. So we have all those highlighted in blue color here, which range up to 25th March 2019, and anything after 1st March are highlighted in green, and they will constitute a short term. Now for long term, let's do the calculations. Our long term purchase cost is the total cost of all these things, so it comes to 1,02,353. Our long term total units purchased is the number of units which we purchased since the beginning till 2019 February. It is 1053.212 units, and basis that we have our long-term selling price is the selling price on the date we redeemed everything, so it will be 111.28, and basis this particular selling price and the number of units, we have obtained our long-term selling cost. So 111.28 into 1053.212, that's our sale cost. So our purchase cost was 1,02,000, our sale cost was 1,17,000. That means our total gain has been 14,848. And since for equity mutual funds long term, if you have a gain below 1 lakh, you will not be taxed. My total long term tax is 0. Suppose this particular figure, instead of 14,000, if the gain was 1,14,000, then my tax would have been 1,14,848 minus 1 lakh exemption, which we get star 10%. So I would have paid 1,484 as the long-term tax. Now coming to the short term, total purchase cost is 18,000 because we purchased 3 SIPs of 6,000 each. Then the total units which were purchased is 179.58. Selling price again is same, 111.28. Sale cost is 111.28 into 179, which comes to 19,983. So my total purchase cost is 18,000, my sale cost is 19,000. Basis this, my short term tax which I'll have to pay is 15% of the gain. So my gain is 19,983 minus 18,000, which is equal to 1,983, and on top of that 15% is the tax which I have to pay, which comes to 297.55. So I'll have to pay short term 297 rupees and long term 0 rupees towards this particular mutual fund, and the same has to be reflected into the ITR form when I'm submitting or filling my capital gain scheme. I've already explained you via a video how you should fill in your capital gains in the IT returns form. You can watch that and continue the process. So you have the cost price, you have the selling price, and basis that you can calculate your taxes. So that's it from today's video. I hope you all liked it. Please remember to like, subscribe and share the channel and the video. Until next time, this is Nishant signing off. Bye, take care, tada.